In a battle of sheer power and indomitable will, Eternia's mightiest champion, He-Man, faces the ultimate destroyer, Doomsday, in a showdown that will shake the cosmos. Who will stand when the dust settles in this clash of titans? Welcome back, viewers. Thank you for joining me for another epic battle on Timeless Battles. Your love and support fuel these incredible showdowns. Today, we dive into an unforgettable confrontation that pits He-Man, the defender of Eternia, against Doomsday, the living engine of destruction. Both possess unparalleled strength, but only one will emerge victorious. Let's explore the battlefield, the stakes, and the clash that will define this ultimate duel. The peaceful land of Eternia basked in the glow of a golden sunset. He-Man stood atop Castle Grayskull, surveying the land he had sworn to protect. Yet an ominous disturbance brewed on the horizon. The Sorceress appeared in a vision, her voice urgent. He-Man, a dark force approaches. It comes from beyond the stars, and it knows no mercy. Eternia is in grave danger. He-Man's grip on the power sword tightened. Whatever it is, I will stop it. By the power of Grayskull, Eternia will endure. Far from Eternia, a cosmic portal opened in the wastelands, spilling out Doomsday in all his terrifying glory. His jagged bones gleamed like weapons, and his growl sent shivers through the planet itself. The beast marched forward, crushing everything in his path, his singular purpose to destroy. The inhabitants of a nearby village fled in terror as Doomsday approached. A brave Eternian guard stood his ground, but was swatted aside like a mere insect. Fire spread, homes crumbled, and chaos reigned. Word of the destruction reached He-Man, who immediately mounted Battle Cat and raced toward the threat. The first meeting of the Titans came in the heart of the wastelands. He-Man leaped from Battle Cat's back, landing before the advancing monster. "Stop!" He-Man commanded, raising his sword. "Turn back or face the might of Eternia's champion." Doomsday responded with a bone-chilling roar, his crimson eyes locking onto He-Man. Without hesitation, the beast lunged, swinging a spiked fist with devastating force. He-Man barely dodged the blow, the ground splintering beneath him. Their battle began with a clash that sent shockwaves across the landscape. He-Man's sword met Doomsday's unrelenting fists, each strike shaking the very air. Though evenly matched in strength, He-Man realized that Doomsday fought without restraint, his ferocity threatening to overwhelm even the might of Grayskull. The wastelands became a war zone as He-Man and Doomsday exchanged blows. He-Man swung the power sword with precision, each strike lighting up the battlefield. However, Doomsday adapted to every attack, his regeneration making him seemingly invincible. As the battle raged, He-Man noticed Doomsday's movements were not random. There was a pattern, a relentless advance toward the heart of Eternia. Realizing the beast's goal, He-Man sought to lead him away from populated areas. With a powerful leap, He-Man landed atop a crumbling cliff and shouted, "Is that all you've got? Come and get me!" Doomsday roared in fury and charged, smashing through the cliffside. He-Man darted through narrow canyons and treacherous terrain, forcing Doomsday to follow. Their battle became a deadly game of cat and mouse, with He-Man using the environment to his advantage. He hurled boulders, triggered rock slides, and unleashed the full might of his sword. But nothing slowed Doomsday for long. In one tense moment, Doomsday cornered He-Man against a sheer rock wall. The monster swung his spiked arm, aiming to crush the champion. He-Man raised his sword just in time, the impact creating a shockwave that split the rock behind him. "I've faced stronger than you," He-Man shouted, pushing back with all his might. Doomsday growled in response, his strength forcing He-Man to his knees. Just as it seemed the monster would overpower him, Battle Cat pounced from the shadows, sinking his claws into Doomsday's back. The distraction gave He-Man a chance to strike. his sword slicing into Doomsday's shoulder. The beast howled in rage, but shrugged off the attack, flinging Battle Cat aside. He-Man gritted his teeth. He had bought time, but he knew the true battle was far from over. The final confrontation unfolded near an ancient Eternian temple, where mystical energy pulsed through the air. He-Man lured Doomsday here, knowing it was his only chance to end the battle. As Doomsday approached, He-Man stood at the center of the temple, the power sword glowing brighter than ever. He planted his feet firmly and shouted, "By the power of Grayskull, I will stop you!" Doomsday charged, his footsteps thunderous. He-Man met him head-on, the collision unleashing a shockwave that shook the temple to its foundation. The power sword clashed against Doomsday's bony fists, each strike releasing bursts of energy. Drawing strength from the temple's mystical energy, He-Man unleashed a flurry of attacks, pushing Doomsday back. Yet the monster's resilience seemed endless. For every wound He-Man inflicted, Doomsday's body healed, his spikes growing more lethal. Realizing he needed to end the fight decisively, He-Man tapped into the full power of Grayskull. The temple's energy flowed into him, his body radiating with golden light. The power sword transformed into a weapon of pure energy, humming with unimaginable power. With a roar, He-Man launched his final assault. He dodged Doomsday's wild swings with precision, each counterstrike cutting deeper into the beast. In one decisive moment, He-Man leaped high into the air, the power sword raised above his head. "For Eternia!" he cried, driving the blade into Doomsday's chest. The explosion of energy was blinding. The temple trembled as the force of the attack consumed Doomsday. When the light faded, the monster lay motionless, his body reduced to ash. He-Man stood amidst the ruins, his body battered but his spirit unbroken. The power sword dimmed, its job complete. The battle was over, and Eternia was safe once more. In this ultimate clash of strength and will, it was the power of Grayskull that proved victorious.